Good morning, good morning, good morning. Steve Billionaire. What's good, YouTube world? I'm back again. Okay, we're gonna make this quick. One thing I didn't mention was that I'm also going to do sports videos. Why in the world I didn't even say that in my now I'm going to reintroduce myself video. Anyway, so yes, I used to do sports. I'll give you a little background. I played basketball. I was pretty good at it. In one of the videos, I talk a little bit more about it. Basically, it saved my life. I love basketball. It brought me all the way to college. I played. My daughter plays. She played Division I. I trained her. So as God has been a blessing throughout the journey of basketball and sports in general. So I'm a big sports fan. I'm a sports junkie. One of my routines I didn't even mention in my old man walk in the morning is watching sports. It's kind of like news to me. So I always cut on First Take. Shout out to First Take. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. Hey, maybe one day I would love to go on there and debate with all of those guys, man. They're so great. Their drama, all of that good stuff. I mean, it's all in fun and all in sports, and we all have an affection for sports, right? So anyway, let's get to it. So I turn on First Take this morning, and I wake up to Robert Saleh, the coach for the New York Jets, being fired. What in the hell? I mean, okay, I'm from New York, right? So it's a lot of pressure. The media, the fans, man, Jet fans, I have a couple friends that are Jet fans, man. I feel for y'all. And low key, I'm going to say this, I ain't going to say this too much. I root for the Jets, man. I'm a low key Jets fan. When my Eagles, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, by the way. Talk more about that later. I don't even want to talk about my team right now. I just don't. But anyway, back to the Jets. So, yes, I understand the Jets' pain. I understand the years of losing, the years of just not being there. You know, it's kind of like out here. I live in Los Angeles, so it's kind of out here. You have the Lakers and you have the Clippers. Unfortunately, there's the Giants, it's the Jets, and then you got Buffalo upstate. I don't really count, but they do in a sense, but it's more in the city, it's more the Jets and the Giants. The Giants is kind of, because they won Super Bowls, they kind of been the big brother, the big boy, and the Jets, except for back in the days with Joe Namath, yes, they were, they were doing their thing. But in recent decades, yeah, the Jets have just stink. They just have. So when they got Aaron Rodgers, I was like, yo, they made a power move. Aaron Rodgers gonna come there, and yes, maybe finally. My expectations was I just want them to make the playoffs again. That's it. I wasn't thinking Super Bowl and all that because a lot of things have to happen, and then you got them Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes. But I was like, Aaron Rodgers, as Stephen A. said, he's a bad man. I thought that, that would change the culture and they will start winning. Fast forward, Aaron Rodgers got a ruptured Achilles. Bad luck again, like the Clippers. Jet fans have to go through it again. Wait a whole year. They allow Aaron Rodgers to get the players, get the team, get his offensive coordinator. And then the season starts. He's coming off of a ruptured Achilles. I ruptured my Achilles. And at his age, do you realize how long it takes, or just any injury, ruptured Achilles, ACL tear, MCL tear, all of those type of tears, all of those type of serious injuries, it takes time, not only physically, but mentally to get back in it, especially when you play football. Football is a physical, violent sport. So in order for you to get back mentally, to be able to take hits again, to be able to basically trust your repaired Achilles, it's going to take a little time. And Aaron Rodgers is a little old in the tooth. Let's just be honest, okay? So for them to have fired Robert Saleh, you already know he's the scapegoat. Like, it was not his fault. He's a good coach. He has not had the pieces in order to be able to get the Jets to not only the playoffs, to maybe hopefully a championship one day. He came from the San Francisco tree. Robert Quinn came from the San Francisco tree. There's other former coaches from San Francisco that came under Shanahan and came under that tree. He is a good coach. So for them to have done that is terrible. Like, it was not his fault at all. Now, I don't know the inner workings of what happened, and maybe him and Rodgers, it kind of seemed like they didn't get along, but still, you have to give it time. So you let him go. Okay, so what about the offensive coordinator? And that's another thing. Like, when it comes to football, basketball, any of these sports, why doesn't not the offensive coordinator, the GM, and not only football, basketball, and probably other sports, but I'm just focused on football right now. Why does the GM always get off the hook? Can y'all please tell me, why does the GM always get off the hook? The GM is the one that recruits the players, that gets the players, that helps draft the players, that gets free agents. They put together the team. There are very few teams that the coach actually has a say, or they have what quarterback they want, what defensive player they want. They probably listen to them, but the GM ultimately makes that decision. And then you have Jerry Jones that makes all the decisions. And you see where they at. Well, that's another story. We'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, back to the Jets. Like, why is he not fired? The offensive line needs to get better. We know that. The offensive line is terrible right now. The defense, which is Saleh's thing, that's his thing, doing what they're supposed to do. They've been solid. They've been holding it down. But after a while, if the offense ain't generating, if y'all not making points, and you could tell Aaron is just still not himself. He's afraid to really run or take off out of the pocket. So that tells you right there, mentally, when it comes to that type of injury, yeah, physically you could probably be fine, but mentally is where you have to go over that hurdle to trust that ruptured Achilles is healed. It could take hits. Your legs could take hits, and now mentally you're fine, and you just can play like you've always played. So, lastly, and I'm not going to be too long because I'm being a little wordy, but the offensive coordinator, Hackett, he's terrible. Like, he was terrible in Denver, and he hasn't been so good with the Jets. So that's another thing. The play calling. The dude Wilson was predicted to be a superstar or a star at the very least. He's not really getting the ball. They may have to go after Devontae, but I'm going to tell you right now, and you heard it from me, they better not give up a lot of their future for Devontae. Devontae's a little older too, but Devontae still got a lot in his tank, and I'm not taking that away. My point is, Jets, do not give up a lot of draft picks or all your future. Because you've seen how that turned out with the Clippers. And I hate to say this, and I'm going to put it out there. Y'all the Clippers of New York, for real. Y'all are. It's true. It's just been bad luck. It's just been bad decisions over the years. And the number one thing that you need, no matter what, to start a team, yes, you need the defense, but you need a star quarterback. First and foremost, then you take care of the offensive line. Then you get the receivers. Then you get the tight end. Defense is defense. We're just talking about the offense. Offense, y'all been making bad decisions after bad decisions over the years. What is it going to take? Now we're going to see. Now we're going to see what happens. It's obvious that they don't have faith in Hackett. Because who's the interim coach? And I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but the defensive coordinator is now the interim coach. The owner has more faith, obviously, because the defense has been solid for the past couple of years. The Jets defense has been real solid. They said, nah, they didn't even look at the offensive coordinator. That's an emoji face. Like, you already know why. I don't even have to say that. So, yeah, I just can't believe Robert Saleh is fired. But let me tell you what's going to happen. he's going to find another job. That's not going to be a problem. And whether it's another head coaching job, because I think he should get that. He may or may not. He may get a defensive coaching job. And just like Quinn, remember, he went from Atlanta. They didn't win the Super Bowl. Tom Brady made that huge comeback. That just was his demise of what it is. Then he went to Dallas. Look what he did with Dallas as a defense coordinator. Got their defense back strong and in the top 5. I don't know. I don't talk about Dallas that much, but whatever. But he did. I have to give him his props. Then he gets hired by the Washington Commanders. They got Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator. And I hate to say this, but Washington is the best in the division right now. That dude Daniels is hot. He is killing it. A rookie, balling right now. That's because Quinn is giving him the freedom, and Kingsbury, which he's been criticized as far as how he got his head coaching job when he first came out of college back to Arizona. But now you're seeing his creativeness and he knows what he's doing, and his history of being with quarterbacks. That's why he got the job at Arizona. But now you're seeing it. So I don't know if he could be a head coach again. He probably can. But sometimes when it comes to the next level, and I'll just end with this, you have to get experience in order to not only play in the NFL, but coach in the NFL. But as we're seeing, and I have to admit this, and we're going to have a future video on this, these quarterbacks that's coming into the league, they are adapting well. Like, they are doing their thing. We're seeing something that we haven't seen before in football. These quarterbacks is adapting. You got Caleb in Chicago. You got Daniels. Those are two of the first examples. Killing it. So anyway, I'm going to end this to say, man, I feel bad for Robert Saleh because I think he's a really good coach. I think he's solid. I just think he just haven't had the pieces and tools to be successful. And I just don't like and can't stand how these GMs always get away and they're not looked at as the blame as far as teams not being successful. That's my take. Y'all can, please comment, please like, just, because I do this. I talk sports. And I'm even about to come with the character. This is reminding me, I wanted to get it like how I was back in New York at the barbershop. I'm going to call myself Do-Rag Steve because I wish I was in a barbershop right now this morning talking Jets because I know they going hard.